All you left me was the radio, and it goes like ooh, yeah, yeah. And it goes like ooh, yeah, yeah. When I press play, all I hear is you. And it goes like ooh, yeah, yeah. When I press play, all I hear is you. Oh, every single song tells me we're through. Yeah, but I can't turn it off.
So the coveted Liberty series earbuds have finally landed and got an update, and we're super excited to see how it performs. And previously there were many controversies when we saw how well the Liberty 3 Pro performed, but nevertheless today we're checking out Soundcore's latest iteration in the Liberty series of earbuds. So the earbuds today were sent over to me by Soundcore for review, and although these were sent over to me, there were no money exchanging hands, and this review is based on my honest and unbiased opinion. The Liberty 4 that we have here today retails for about $150 US, and that is about 685 Malaysia Ringgit. Very decently priced, competing with flagship earbuds that hovers way past this range like the Bose QC Earbuds 2, the AirPods Pro 2, and even Sony's own WF-1000XM4. So all of these are much more expensive than the Liberty 4. So in terms of price, Soundcore is already ahead. So since I don't have the AirPods Pro 2 or the QC Earbuds 2 yet, I also have a separate comparison video right up here, specifically comparing with a few earbuds such as the Liberty 3 Pro, the AirPods Pro, as well as the Sony WF-1000XM4. So I'm trying to position the Liberty 4 because the last we saw a stem style earbuds under the Liberty brand was the Liberty Air 2 Pro, and since Soundcore removed the Pro in the Liberty 4, it leaves us wondering if this will be the successor to the Liberty 3 Pro or the Liberty Air 2 Pro. Either way, I think this time around we are getting a whole lot of technologies and features, and so let's talk about them. So in terms of the size, the Liberty 4 is similar to the Air 2 Pro in terms of the case, and I personally like this size a lot more. Makes it very compact and easy to carry around. And the top here, you're going to get the Soundcore logo in a nice mirror finish, and the case I have here is in a matte black case that has a very smooth finish but not rubbery, and it's made similar to the Liberty 3 Pro. You also get a slide up lid, and again the lid that Soundcore makes is exceptionally well built and there's no wobble. It's easy to slide around, and at the back here you're also going to get a Type-C charging port to quickly charge up the earbuds, and the flat base that you get down here also supports wireless charging. So this time around, instead of the standard 3 LED that you see with the Liberty 3 Pro, Soundcore is now using a light bar to indicate the battery percentage or the battery charge. So if you see a full bar like this one here just now, it means that you have more than 60% of battery, and if it's a short bar, it means you have 20 to 60%, and if it's a red short bar, then you have less than 20%. So the earbuds inside now comes with a light up interior as well, so taking this from the Liberty 3 Pro Big Brother, so if you slide up the lid, you can see how it glows inside and blinks as it's connecting to your phone. So that's pretty nice, and once it connects to your phone, you can see it starts to glow very softly, it doesn't like blink very fast, so that's very nice. So the earbuds is pretty basic looking, but this time Soundcore uses a squeeze control instead of tap controls, which is quite refreshing to see with non-Apple earbuds. And what's exciting with these earbuds is not on the outside but inside the ear tips, where you're gonna get this pretty crazy looking ear guide, and inside you're gonna see additional grills for the feedback mic for ANC inside, and there's also a heart rate sensor which you cannot see, and when you wear them you'll be able to track your health status, your heart rate, which is really quite innovative. But then again, unlike smartwatches that you can wear all day, you don't generally wear earbuds all day long, and so that data won't be as complete as a smartwatch would do. So with this new sensor, Soundcore also introduces Soundcore Wellness in the app there, so where you get to track your body stress level, your heart rate, especially when you work out, and also a fitness guide. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the app section later on. And finally, Soundcore also uses a new innovative ear tips design where they coined it as Cloud Comfort ear tips, where it's a double layer and it gives you additional comfort and better seal. So if you look in front here, you can see that there's a double layer, but this is unlike the Sleep A10 that they also launched, which really has a double layer seal in order to give you that good seal. So this one doesn't have that. So in terms of battery life, the Liberty 4 is very good and also slightly better than the Liberty 3 Pro, and without ANC, coming in at about 9 hours and 19 additional hours with the case, and 7 hours and 17 additional hours with ANC on. So this time around, there are no numbers provided if you use them with LDAC, but based on experience with the Liberty 3 Pro, you should be getting half the juice without ANC, so that's about 4.5 hours and 9.5 hours with the case. The case also provides you with quick charging, so 15 minutes charge will give you 3 hours of playback without ANC. Volume-wise, a comfortable listening volume for me starts at about 40%, and it's not the loudest at lower percentages, and a volume that feels loud for me comes in at about 55%. So it's a very small jump. Anything above that I feel is too loud for me, so if you like your music blastingly loud, definitely consider the Liberty 4. So like with most flagship earbuds, the specs on these earbuds is also really good, and this time around you're going to get a Bluetooth 5.3 with LDAC support for high-res audio wireless support, and you're also going to get AAC and SBC. Do make sure that if you're buying a high-res audio device like this, that you have a compatible device that supports it, and if you use iPhones, you're just gonna get AAC out of it. So this time around, the earbuds are not getting any IP rating, funnily, but since you can use these earbuds for running, I do believe that you should have some IP rating. So far, I don't think it will break if you simply sweat in it. I've run with it, trail run with it. So far, it doesn't really have any problem. It still works fine, and similar to all other Soundcore earbuds, you're getting seamless left and right playback, so you can use either side independently. You're also going to get 2-device multi-point connectivity with them, so that's pretty cool as well. And instead of the ACAA 2.0 architecture that the Liberty 3 Pro uses, the Liberty 4 now comes with ACAA 3.0, which also means Astral Coaxial Acoustic Architecture 3.0, which is a term that they use, which this time around, instead of a BA driver in the middle of the DD path, you will have 2 dynamic drivers pumping out audio in the same path. So one 9.2mm dynamic driver and another 6mm dynamic driver on the same path, which honestly is pretty cool, especially in such a small device. So you're also going to get the same 6 mic AI uplink noise cancellation for voice calls, and we're going to test them out later to see how it works. And in terms of ANC of the Liberty 4, I've done a comprehensive comparison between 4 different flagship ANCs, and this is my verdict. So in terms of road noise test, the Liberty 4 has as effective an algorithm compared to the Liberty 3 Pro, which I've updated and retested for 2022, and my result is still the same. It manages to reduce road noise very significantly, and when I turn on some soft music, everything virtually disappears. So the human chatters of noisy cafe test, the Liberty 4 is also the same as the Liberty 3 Pro and still lets a little noise through despite me blasting the sound quite a bit, so still pretty impressive nevertheless. The airplane cabin noise test is also effective in reducing the noise quite substantially, and with music, again, everything else just disappears. The passive isolation, in my opinion and test, is not as effective as the Liberty 3 Pro, but still very good, and also I do notice the occasional noise from wind, so it didn't get full marks here. So with that said, I'm rating the Liberty 4 with an ANC rating of 9.4 out of 10, where the Liberty 3 Pro, in my opinion, is still better at 9.8 out of 10. So I think Soundcore has pretty much nailed their app layout and has been consistent with most of their earbuds. So with the Liberty 4, you're going to get pretty good design here as well. So again, you're going to get the left and right battery level here as well as the case battery level, but still no percentages here. And below that, you're going to get your ambient sound control. So here you're going to be able to choose between ANC, normal mode or transparency mode, and if you go into ANC, you can actually choose the mode here, whether you want it to be in manual mode, so you can choose either strong, moderate or weak. I usually leave it at strong most of the time, or you can also go into adaptive mode where it will just listen to your environment and tell you what is the best. I didn't really like this because as it changed, you can hear the difference in ANC, so that's not very nice for me, so I'll just use manual for me. And if you also do your Hear ID test, you're going to get a Hear ID ANC, which is similar to the Liberty 3 Pro as well. And under transparency mode here, you're going to be able to choose fully transparent or vocal mode, and under vocal mode it does lower down your volume quite a bit. So below that, you're going to get your sound effects, and here you're going to get your Soundcore signature, which is standard across. So here you can get Soundcore signature and a whole bunch of the other EQs for you to choose from, but here what we're missing usually now that we see from other Soundcore earbuds is the bass up. So this one doesn't have that bass up feature, and if you fancy customizing your own EQ, you can also go into custom and adjust it in your 8-band EQ here. So if you also have Hear ID set up, then you will be able to use Hear ID sound. sound, which I think it does measure how your ears hear certain frequencies, because everybody's ears are different, age may be an effect. So it does adjust it accordingly, and that's very nice. So finally, a new feature that we have here, which is spatial audio, and here you can set it to either fixed or head tracking, and this works fantastically. And if you've used Apple's version of spatial audio, it's the same, but I feel Apple's is more subtle, but the Soundcore one is more apparent, which is nice because you can hear it working. So here you can also choose it for music mode or movie mode, which is pretty decent. So here I'll just go back to Hear ID sound. So next to that, you can also remap your squeeze control on your earbuds, and here you'll be able to choose between your single press, your double press, as well as your triple press, so you can just adjust it to how you like to control your earbuds. So finally, a new feature that we have, which is the Soundcore Wellness feature, where you can track your heart rate, your stress level, and also start guided workouts. So here what we can do is, if you click into Go, you can either choose your workouts in freestyle, guided, or custom. So freestyle means you can, exercise the way you like. Guided is pretty basic here. It only has beginner and intermediate, and you can see it's not very intuitive if you run a lot. So personally for me, I've set up a 5K running. So here you can see you can start it, and inside here, regardless which mode that you choose, whether it's freestyle, guided, or custom, you all get this voice guide. Currently it's in Cat only, so Cat is speaking to you. But there are some flaws that I've experienced with this particular guidance, right? You can hear that the voice is not natural, and it's like a mixture of different voices. I think this is because it's still in beta, and I hope Soundcore addresses this. And the guided training isn't something fancy as well, so it basically tells you if you reach your desired heart rate or you have surpassed your heart rate. From my test, it announces this every 50 to 60 steps, and the way it announces it also comes in a different voice. So for example, assuming my heart rate is 154, it will say your heart rate is 100 in one voice, 50 in another voice, and 4 in the first voice that you hear. So it's very distracting. And also in my test, the 20, 30, 40, and 50 that they say is also in a different voice, and it's like dubbed by different persons. So I really hope that that would be addressed. So as a runner, personally, I think this is not something that I will always use. I liked it upfront when it, occasionally tells me my heart rate and stuff like that. But if it announces it every 50 to 60 steps, then I think personally I'm just gonna turn it off. So apart from that, you can also track your heart rate. Here you can see that I've did a run the other day, and you can see the maximum heart rate that it detected, average heart rate. From what I found, because I've also tested this together with my Apple Watch that I'm tracking my workouts with, and I noticed that it is almost spot on most of the time. So for example, if because I think the intervals of testing is different, so of course sometimes when you look at it, you might see that it's different. So like my Apple Watch will be 154 and my Soundcore Liberty 4 will be 156, for example. So the variance is very small, and I learned that Soundcore is actually super accurate if I considered my Apple Watch as a benchmark. So that's really quite nice. And you can also do a stress reading. So if you can go in here, you can also do a stress reading. It'll tell you whether or not you're stressed out and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all the controls you get with the Soundcore app. Again, Soundcore did fantastic with the sound quality of the Liberty 4. It does have a very different sound signature compared to a Liberty 3 Pro, and I think that the Liberty 3 Pro to some extent has a more powerful dynamic driver sound. It has a better and stronger bass thumb. But one thing about the Liberty 3 Pro is that the highs may sometimes be too ear-piercing, but in the case of the Liberty 4, I think the dual dynamic driver set up with this ACAA 3.0 architecture is pretty impressive. So what I'm listening to with this is on the Hear ID EQ, where I think it provides a more personalized and accurate sound signature specific to your ears. And bass-wise, I think the Liberty 4 is very powerful, generating sufficiently powerful and thumpy sound signature, very likely to satisfy most bass hits. The mids and highs here are also fantastically tuned, whether I'm using dedicated DAP player with LDAC support, or my Sony NW105A also with LDAC support, and even running it AAC with my iPhone, they all sound impressive without sounding muddy, muffled, or distorted. So personally, I think this is what audio companies should focus on. Yes, to some extent, codec is very important, but tuning is way more important than that. And when you get the tuning right, the idea is to be able to extract the best of each music with or without high-res codec. So I think Soundcore definitely is getting better and better in this space. Really impressive. So this is a test to see if the Liberty 4 is a good earbuds to make calls in a quiet environment. So now there's no sound around me, and this is how the call sounds like. What I'm going to do now is to turn on a simulated background noise so you can hear a difference. So now there's a simulated background noise playing in the background, and this is the call quality that you can expect from the Liberty 4. So what do you think of the call quality? Let me know in the comment section down below. So again, like the Liberty 3 Pro, there is a minor latency when playing games like PUBG, and the emphasis from Soundcore with this earbuds is also not on latency or gaming. Hence, you do get that lag when playing games with it. Watching movies and videos in my experience feels good without delay. Anyways, let's take a look at the latency performance of these earbuds. So overall, I think this is a great earbuds, and Soundcore definitely continues to impress with each of their release. And if you want to see how these earbuds stack up against the other flagship earbuds, please check out my comparison video. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash the thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.